From the crystal waters of alpine lakes to the ancient stones of lost empires, our planet holds natural and human-made wonders that defy imagination. Join us on an extraordinary journey to 20 of Earth's most breathtaking destinations, where nature's artistry and human ingenuity create scenes of unparalleled beauty. Witness turquoise glacial lakes mirror jagged peaks in Banff. Explore the rose-red city of Petra, carved from living rock, and dive into the living rainbow of the Great Barrier Reef. From the ice caves of Antarctica to the floating mountains of Ha Long Bay, from the red dunes of Namibia to the cascading emerald pools of Plitvice, each destination tells a unique story of our planet's majesty. These wonders, shaped by time, elements, and human hands, remind us of Earth's incredible diversity and the precious heritage we must preserve for future generations. Let our journey begin. Northern Lights in Iceland. High above Iceland's rugged terrain, an ethereal dance unfolds in the Arctic sky. The aurora borealis paints the darkness with sweeping ribbons of green, purple, and red, as charged solar particles collide with Earth's atmosphere. From September to March, when darkness rules these northern realms, visitors gather in remote locations to witness this celestial ballet. Picture yourself beside the iconic Kirkjufell mountain, your breath visible in the frigid air. Without warning, faint green lights appear on the horizon, morphing into undulating curtains that dance across the stars like silk caught in a celestial wind. The lights reflect off glacial lagoons below, creating mirror images that transform Iceland's already dramatic landscape into something truly otherworldly. What ancient Norse warriors once believed to be the gleaming armor of Valkyries, we now know as one of nature's most spectacular displays, a reminder of our planet's eternal connection to the cosmos. Floating fairy gardens of Cappadocia. At dawn, hundreds of colorful hot air balloons rise into the golden Turkish sky, floating above a landscape that seems crafted by fantasy. Cappadocia's fairy chimneys, towering spires of weathered rock, pierce the morning mist like ancient sentinels, their honey-colored formations creating an otherworldly panorama that stretches to the horizon. These remarkable structures were sculpted by millions of years of volcanic activity and erosion, then carved into homes, churches, and entire underground cities by civilizations past. The soft, volcanic tough rock bears the marks of human history, with thousands of cave dwellings and Byzantine sanctuaries adorned with vivid frescoes dating back to the 4th century. As your balloon drifts silently through the rose-tinted dawn, you'll float above the valleys of Göreme, where rock formations resemble a forest of giant mushrooms. The landscape changes from cream to pink to gold as the sun climbs higher, casting long shadows across the rippling terrain of Love Valley, Monks Valley, and the Red Valley below. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. Rising through veils of mist, the towering sandstone pillars of Zhangjiajie pierce the clouds like nature's skyscrapers. These extraordinary formations, which inspired the floating mountains of Pandora in Avatar, soar over 3,000 feet high. Carved by millions of years of erosion, their quartz sandstone faces are draped with lush vegetation, creating a stunning contrast between gray stone and vibrant green. The park's crown jewel, Hallelujah Mountain, stands among thousands of similar peaks, while wisps of fog weave between them, creating their legendary floating appearance. Whether viewed from the world's longest cable car ride or the vertigo-inducing glass elevator of Mount Bailong, this is where Earth's geology performs the impossible, creating a landscape so spectacular it seems to belong to another world entirely. Salar de Uyuni. High in the Bolivian Andes lies the world's largest salt flat, stretching over 4,000 square miles of pristine white hexagonal patterns. During the rainy season, a thin layer of water transforms Salar de Uyuni into Earth's largest mirror, creating an ethereal landscape where sky and ground become indistinguishable. Here, photographers wade through ankle-deep water to capture impossible images, where clouds float both above and below their feet. At sunset, the entire landscape blazes with color, while at night, the salt flat mirrors the stars, creating the sensation of walking through the cosmos itself. Remote cacti-covered islands rise like mirages from this prehistoric lakebed, where flamingos stride through shallow pools and salt harvesters build their pyramids of crystalline white gold. Arctic temples of Samarkand. Against the Central Asian sky, Samarkand's magnificent mosques and madrasas shimmer in 1,000 shades of blue. The Registan Square showcases 3 colossal madrasas adorned with intricate geometric patterns, their towering portals and domes covered in a mesmerizing array of turquoise, azure, and cobalt tiles. The legendary Bibi Khanim Mosque and the stunning Shah-e-Zinda necropolis display the pinnacle of Islamic architecture, where master craftsmen transformed mathematical precision into divine beauty. These blue-tiled monuments mirror the desert sky above, standing as eternal testaments to the golden age of the Silk Road, when Samarkand was known as the Rome of the East. Antelope Canyon. Deep beneath the Arizona desert, sunlight streams through narrow slots in the earth, transforming Antelope Canyon's twisted sandstone walls into flowing waves of red, orange, and purple. This masterpiece of erosion, carved by flash floods and wind over millions of years, creates an otherworldly gallery where light and shadow dance across surfaces so smooth they appear liquid. In the upper canyon, famous light beams pierce through the darkness like spotlights from above, creating ethereal shafts that photographers chase throughout the day. The sandstone walls ripple and curve like frozen waves, their layers telling stories of ancient desert winds and rushing waters. The Navajo name for Upper Antelope Canyon, Tse-Bikani-Lini, means the place where water runs through rocks, perfectly capturing its fluid essence. Rainbow Mountains of Zhangye, Danxia. In China's Gansu province, nature has painted the landscape in sweeping strokes of red, yellow, blue, and green, creating mountains that look like giant layers of melted candy. The Zhangye Danxia. Rainbow Mountains showcase 24 million years of mineral deposits. They're bands of color created by iron and trace minerals laid down in ancient times. At sunrise and sunset, these colors ignite as red sandstone, emerald green mudstone, and ribbons of gold and purple ripple across the mountainsides. Formed by colliding tectonic plates and sculpted by wind and rain, these striped mountains stand as proof that sometimes reality can be more extraordinary than fantasy. Crystal Lakes of Banff. In the heart of the Canadian Rockies, Banff National Park cradles a collection of impossibly blue alpine lakes that glow like liquid turquoise. Lake Louise, Moraine Lake, and Petra Lake derive their ethereal color from glacial rock flowers suspended in crystal clear waters, creating a stunning contrast against the jagged peaks that surround them. The Victoria Glacier towers above Lake Louise, while Moraine Lake rests beneath the Valley of the 10 Peaks. These pristine waters, framed by snow-capped mountains and reflected in nature's perfect mirror, showcase the raw, untamed beauty of the Canadian wilderness. Antarctica. At the bottom of our planet lies a continent sculpted entirely from ice, where massive glaciers flow like frozen rivers and ice caves glow with an otherworldly blue light. Antarctica, larger than Europe and almost entirely untouched by humanity, represents Earth's last true wilderness. Deep within the continent's ice caves, sunlight filters through layers of ancient ice, creating an ethereal blue glow that seems to pulse from within. These crystalline caverns, formed by geothermal heat and wind erosion, reveal ice that has been frozen for hundreds of thousands of years. Massive glaciers stretch to the horizon, some towering hundreds of feet above the sea, their faces creating a constantly changing gallery of ice sculptures as they calve into the Southern Ocean. Against this pristine white canvas, colonies of emperor penguins march across the ice, while whales breach in the midnight sun. In this harsh yet breathtaking landscape, where temperatures can plunge below 100 degrees, nature rules supreme, offering a glimpse of our planet in its purest form. Desert Fjords of Lofoten. Above the Arctic Circle, Lofoten's granite peaks surge dramatically from the Norwegian Sea, creating a jagged wall of mountains that pierce the ever-changing Nordic sky. These islands form a stunning archipelago, where traditional red fishing cabins perch on stilts above crystal-clear waters, their reflections painting perfect mirrors in the sheltered harbors. During summer, the midnight sun bathes the landscape in endless golden light, while winter brings the ethereal dance of the northern lights above snow-dusted peaks. In the historic village of Rain, centuries-old fishermen's cottages cluster beneath towering mountains, creating one of the world's most photographed landscapes. The clear waters below hold some of the richest fishing grounds on Earth, sustaining a way of life that has endured for 1,000 years. Here, where Arctic waters meet sheer cliff faces, every view becomes a masterpiece of natural design, showcasing Norway's wild beauty at its most dramatic. Petra. Through a narrow canyon of twisted rose-colored rock, the treasury of Petra emerges like a mirage. A 130-foot-high facade carved directly into the sandstone cliff face. This masterpiece of ancient Nabatean architecture glows pink and orange in the desert sun. Its columns and intricate details revealing the extraordinary skill of craftsmen who worked over 2,000 years ago. Beyond the treasury, an entire city unfolds within the rock, with hundreds of tombs, a 7,000-seat amphitheater, temples, and monasteries, all sculpted from the living stone. The changing light transforms the rock from pale pink to deep red throughout the day, earning Petra its nickname, the Rose City. The engineering feat is even more remarkable considering the Nabateans carved their city from top to bottom, suspended on ropes. This lost capital, hidden from the outside world until 1812, stands as testament to human ingenuity and artistry, where architecture and nature merge in perfect harmony. Great Barrier Reef. Stretching over 1,500 miles along Australia's coast, the Great Barrier Reef is Earth's largest living structure. Visible even from space, this underwater paradise hosts a dazzling array of life. 1,500 species of tropical fish dart through forests of 400 different types of hard coral. Their colors so vivid they seem almost artificial. Giant clams with iridescent mantles rest on the seafloor, while sea turtles glide gracefully overhead. Walls of bright coral create an underwater metropolis where clownfish peek from swaying anemones. Reef sharks patrol the depths, and manta rays soar like underwater birds. Each coral structure is its own micro-world, supporting countless species in a delicate balance of life. Plitvice Lakes. In Croatia's forested heart, 16 crystalline lakes tumble into one another through a series of waterfalls, creating a living landscape where water, limestone, and lush vegetation combine in perfect harmony. The lakes of Plitvice shift colors throughout the day, from emerald to turquoise to deep azure, their clarity so perfect that every detail of the underwater world is visible. Wooden walkways wind through this watery paradise, crossing over streams and hugging the edges of waterfalls, where the constant flow has created natural travertine dams over thousands of years. Each step reveals new cascades, the sound of falling water, a constant melody in this natural symphony. Surrounded by ancient beech and pine forests, these interconnected lakes showcase nature's artistic genius, where every drop of water contributes to an ever-evolving masterpiece of natural architecture. Ha Long Bay. In the emerald waters of the Gulf of Tonkin, thousands of limestone islands rise like ancient sea dragons. creating a seascape that seems to belong in legend rather than reality. According to Vietnamese myth, these karst towers were created by dragons descending from the mountains, their tails carving out valleys that filled with seawater. Each towering island is a fortress of weathered limestone draped in tropical vegetation, their bases carved by centuries of waves into grottos and hidden caves. Traditional junk boats with their distinctive sails glide between these stone sentinels, while local fishing villages float serenely on the calm waters. At sunset, the towering islands cast long shadows across the bay's tranquil surface, their silhouettes creating a mystical landscape where the boundary between sea and sky, legend and reality, seems to dissolve in the golden light. Torres del Paine. Rising like granite daggers against the southern sky, the three towers of Torres del Paine pierce through clouds and legend alike. These dramatic peaks, shaped by ice and wind over millions of years, stand sentinel over a wilderness of turquoise lakes, massive glaciers, and windswept grasslands. At sunrise, the towers glow orange and pink, their jagged faces reflected in the mirror-like waters of mountain lakes. Below, herds of guanacos graze the steppes while condors soar on thermal winds, pristine glaciers calve into milky blue lakes, and wild orchids bloom in hidden valleys, creating a landscape that represents Patagonia at its most sublime. These iconic spires, surrounded by some of Earth's most dramatic terrain, embody the raw, untamed spirit of South America's southern tip. Azure Canyons of Moraine Lake. Nestled in Banff National Park's Valley of the Ten Peaks, Moraine Lake glows an impossible shade of turquoise. Its waters colored by glacial rock flour, carried down from ancient ice fields. 10 serrated mountain peaks rise like a crown around the lake, their snow-capped summits reflected perfectly in the mirror-like surface. In summer, the lake fills to its highest level with glacial melt, achieving its most intense blue color. The surrounding peaks, each over 10,000 feet high, create a natural amphitheater that cradles this jewel-toned water. Ancient larch trees line the shore, turning golden in autumn and adding another layer of color to this already spectacular palette. This masterpiece of nature, immortalized on Canada's former $20 bill, represents the raw beauty of the Canadian Rockies at its finest. Sossusvlei. In Namibia's heart, towering red dunes rise like waves in an ocean of sand, some stretching over 1,000 feet high. At sunrise, the dunes of Sossusvlei glow crimson against the deep blue African sky, their knife-edge ridges casting long shadows across the desert. The iron-rich sand, oxidized over millions of years, creates a landscape that seems more Mars than Earth. At Dead Vlei, ancient camel thorn trees, dead for over 900 years, stand like black sculptures against the white clay pan and orange dunes. These trees, too dry to decompose, are preserved as dark sentinels in this otherworldly landscape. The cracked white clay, surrounded by the world's tallest sand dunes, creates a natural amphitheater where time stands still. Banaue rice terraces. Carved into the mountains of northern Luzon 2,000 years ago, the Banaue rice terraces climb like giant steps to the sky. Often called the eighth wonder of the world, these ancient agricultural terraces were hand-carved by the Ifugao people. Following the natural contours of the mountains, the terraces stretch over 4,000 square miles, their stone walls reaching higher than many modern skyscrapers if stacked end to end. Each level is an engineering marvel of precise irrigation and ancient farming wisdom, fed by mountain streams through an intricate system of channels. During the growing season, the terraces transform into living mirrors, reflecting the sky in countless pools of water. This testament to human ingenuity and harmony with nature continues to sustain local communities today, just as it has for 2 millennia. Angkor Wat. Rising from the Cambodian jungle, Angkor Wat stands as the world's largest religious monument. Its 5 iconic towers shaped like lotus buds reaching toward the heavens. Built in the 12th century as a Hindu temple, this massive stone complex covers 500 acres. Its walls adorned with over 3,000 celestial nymphs and intricate bas-reliefs depicting ancient myths and battles. Massive tree roots embrace crumbling temples like giant serpents, while morning mist drifts through ancient corridors where kings once walked. The main temple's perfect symmetry and astronomical alignment reveal the architectural genius of the Khmer Empire. At sunrise, the entire complex reflects perfectly in its surrounding moats, creating a mirror image of this stone masterpiece. Glacial Gardens of Fiordland. In New Zealand's southwestern corner, ancient glaciers carve deep valleys that the sea now fills, creating a landscape of sheer cliffs, thundering waterfalls, and mirror-black fjords. Milford Sound, the crown jewel of Fiordland, while countless waterfalls plummet from hanging valleys above. Rain-drenched forests cling to near vertical cliffs, creating a temperate rainforest where tree ferns and moss flourish. Dolphins play in the dark waters while fur seals bask on sun-warmed rocks. After rain, hundreds of temporary waterfalls appear, transforming the fjord walls into curtains of cascading water. This pristine wilderness, where mountains meet ocean in dramatic fashion, showcases the raw power of glacial forces and the untamed beauty of New Zealand's natural heritage. These 20 remarkable places are just a glimpse of Earth's boundless beauty. From ancient temples to pristine wilderness, each destination reminds us that our planet holds endless treasures waiting to be discovered. As guardians of these natural and cultural wonders, we share the responsibility to protect them for generations to come. If you enjoyed this journey around our magnificent planet, join our community of explorers by subscribing. Hit that bell icon to be notified of our next adventure as we continue to uncover Earth's most extraordinary places. Until then, keep wandering, keep wondering.